before we go ahead and discuss this, I just want to go ahead and lay it out there that I'm not saying I believe. Oh wait, this is an open conversation.
No. What were you gonna say?
Oh, I thought I accepted the one about the conspiracy theory.
Yeah, that's what you did.
Oh, I don't know. I'm confused. I don't believe in the conspiracy theory. Just want to go ahead and put that out there so you don't think I'm crazy. Yeah. So go ahead and say what you want to say.
How was it brought to be a conspiracy theory? Like, how do people say it is?
Well, basically, there's this 2-hour-long documentary. Huh?
Wait, we couldn't understand what you said.
We couldn't understand what you said.
Okay, basically, there's this 2-hour documentary that tries to poke holes in holes in what actually happened at Sandy Hook, and their overall theory was that this was all put together. It was a hoax put together to try to get stricter gun, laws put in place. Mm-hmm. It's basically what the documentary was trying to say.
Yeah.
And by doing that, they basically talked about how the footage doesn't add up with the reports, and how a lot of the parents were like actors and all this other bullcrap.
Yeah.
And I was just curious as to what people thought, because a lot of people actually believe this. So.
Well, I don't. Wait, what are we arguing about? Sandy Hook, did it happen or not?
Did it happen? Yeah, it did.
Okay, yeah, we think it both happened, so we're not dumb.
Wait, what were we arguing about in the first place?
Well, no one was arguing. I was just curious as to what you guys actually thought about, whether or not those conspiracies are, BS, or because there are actually people out there who believe these theories. And so I got to be open-minded and hear them out, because I'm curious as to why people believe these theories.
Yeah, well, I don't believe that one. What about that's like another thing.
Wait,
that people believe in. 9/11.
Wait.
What about
Did you call us you guys?
I just assumed your gender. Yeah.
So what if I thought I was a girl?
Wow, sorry.
Do you believe in transgender?
Do I believe they exist?
No, I mean, like, if they say, if I'm a guy and I say I'm a girl, what would you say to that?
I'd be like, okay.
But I'm not.
Okay.
But if somebody tells you that they're a girl but they're obviously a guy, you would just say okay.
Yeah, I mean, that's not my business, I'm not one to judge anyone for. Oh, he has a problem with his connection. Can you pick up all your stuff? Oh, yeah, I'm not one to judge people based off of, their thing. So, yeah.
Well, do you feel like it's not bad?
Go ahead.
Do you feel like it's okay, or do you think it's wrong?
I'm not one to, say what's right and what's wrong, because, I don't think anyone can truly be the judge of what's right and what's wrong unless, you obviously know that murder is wrong. But in that sense, I think, I'm really not judgmental at all. And if someone, I know someone's transgender and, that's their lifestyle, and what I do think it's wrong is for me to judge them on how they choose to live their life, because I wouldn't want anyone judging me on how I choose to live mine. So I try not to judge other people.
Well, yeah, that makes sense. But
do you think it's wrong?
I do. Honestly, I think it's not right.
I mean, as a personal preference, with myself, I would never change my gender, because I was born a certain way and it was a natural way. But different people, different circumstances.
Yeah. What were you gonna say?
All right. Are you Christian?
I was raised in a Christian household. I've kind of stepped away from all of that recently.
Yeah.
I'm more spiritual than I am religious now. Just not even, I don't know how to describe it. It's just that there are a lot of flaws in organized religion. So I kind of stepped away from that once I got a little bit older and realized whatnot.
So, what flaws could you find with Christianity?
The fact that it's a lot of Christians are very hypocritical.
Yeah, that is definitely true.
That's one of my biggest problems is that hey, be quiet. Is that there's a lot of they're hypocritical, and I guess a lot of it was brought to my attention when a close friend of mine who's extremely Christian disagreed with my opinion on Islam, and they were basically bashing the religion and basically saying how it's only preaches hate and talks about killing people. And I made the comment that Christianity does too. In the Bible there's hate, and then there's always that comeback, oh yeah, it's only in the Old Testament, but it's also in the New Testament. And so after all that, I kind of like took a step back and was like, I'm just gonna step away from all of that.
Yeah, I get that. But so you said that the flaw in Christianity was people being hypocritical, but you get that what we believe is that everyone sins, right?
Yeah, I get yeah.
So I think whenever people are being hypocritical, I don't think that's a flaw in Christianity. I think that's the flaw in the human.
In the human, yeah.
Yeah. But because also you're talking about Christianity preaching hate, was it? That you said?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it doesn't no. Okay, let me correct my statement. It doesn't I'm not saying that Christianity I'm not saying it preaches hate at all. I am saying that there are texts in the Bible that come off as hateful, and like where it talks, there are several, even in the New Testament and the Old Testament. Nope, it's in the New Testament as well. It's just worded differently. It's just hate, and I just hate it when people are like, the Bible does not have hate in it. It only preaches love and acceptance.
Well,
and I also hate how I also hate how like Christians have this ideal of a God, and like where he is okay with some sin, but okay with like some sin that's not okay. I don't know if I'm making any sense.
Well,
but I guess that just goes back to the whole hypocritical thing. Sorry.
Yeah, but I'm not sure who you've talked to that thinks that God is okay with some sin, because that's completely wrong.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's wrong.
Awful. So I don't know who you were talking to. I was going to say a while ago. I forgot what I was going to say. What were we just talking about, Jeff? No, what were we just talking about? Huh? Well, you said that you feel like some like texts come off as hateful.
Yep.
Like, could you give me an example? Because I'm not like saying you're wrong, but I just don't really know where you're coming from with that.
Hold on, let me pull it up.
All right.
I got you.
I don't know what that says. Yeah, I bet she got off of her like app or something.
No, she said she won't be here.
Well, yeah, but like, isn't it whenever you X off this app, it'll like close off the argument? So I bet that's what happened. But it's like vertical back, so that's whatever.
Oh, is this problem with connection? I didn't even see that.
Well, I'm pretty sure that's because she got off.
The problem with connection.
Just wait for how many seconds?
I could just exit out and then recall her.
Are you wanting it from?
Well,
Sorry, I thought I could like go to another app without closing this app altogether, which I can't.
Yeah,
So I'm just gonna get my iPad.
that's kind of what I figured happened.
Yeah. Okay. So while I'm looking this up, I actually have a question.
Yeah.
So, do you think that the Old Testament does have, like, in a way, preach hate in a few of its verses?
Wait, I guess you were breaking up or something because I didn't get all that.
Like, do you feel like the Old Testament, there are certain verses that do actually preach hate?
No, I don't. I don't think that.
Can
No?
you show it? If you
Well-
show it, then it is. Then it is. Can you show us the script?
I mean, of course I can't. I can show it because it's there.
Can you?
Well, yeah. I mean, if you could show it, then I
Then
mean,
it's there.
I'd kind of go off whatever it says, but I feel like some verses could be misinterpreted. Like,
I mean, I think
I'm-
there are a lot of them that are, and I think the whole thing in general is just misinterpretation. But regardless of whether it is or not, I think one of the worst arguments that Christians do use, and I think it's funny, is when they say that it's only, like, it's in the Old Testament, as if the Old Testament doesn't count at all.
yeah,
That's,
I don't like when people use that either. Because I mean, I'm a Christian, but I get where that argument is not.
like, I mean, I'm definitely not stepping away from Christianity altogether. I'm basically taking time to, hold on, I'm pulling it up, to step back and just, I guess, understand.
yeah.
All right. Old Testament, here it is. Really pull it up. I just want to be able to understand a religion on my own and not just go based off of what I've been taught all my life.
Yeah, I get that.
Pulling it up. It's loaded. Stop.
What?
Yeah.
I wasn't talking to you.
Better be.
Yeah.
Like, boy, no, I'm kidding. And that's Silent Hill Church. They're talking shit on each other just randomly. Like, oh, that's the Trump guy, but he changed his picture.
He's so cool. Oh wait, no, I'm wrong guy.
This one right here is the dude.
Yeah, that guy's cool.
What are you looking up?
Well,
There used to be a website that actually had, here it is, the quotes listed out.
yeah.
If your jaws have been damaged. Blah, 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 blah.
Really big. You saw that Soccer Superstars or whatever.
I just downloaded a shit ton of games in my head just in case I don't know.
Yeah, I get it.
Or wait.
You're good.
Okay, so if we claim to have fellowship with him and yet walk in darkness, we lie and do not live out the truth. Blah, blah, blah. Anyone who claims to be in the light but hates a brother or sister is still in the darkness. Anyone who lives in the light. Cool. Get rid of all bitterness, rage, and anger, brawlings. To fear the Lord is to hate evil. My fruit is better than fine gold, but it yield. This is not what I'm looking for.
What do the comments say?
He left, and that person tried watching. There's 3 people watching. That girl.
Oh, he's leaving.
He left. And then this guy's watching. That Tina, and then it's just 2 people now.
You give a lot of props. That's 8 Ball.
This one.
She grew up at 8 Ball?
I don't even know what the hell they're talking about. Oh, there's 3 people again.
Yeah.
It says 30 likes, and then it says 102 sometimes.
Hold on. I'm slowly looking for it.
Do you know what book it's in? Like Luke, John, something like that?
That's
There were a few verses
I know what I'm saying. Like it's
that I
right.
mainly saw from, I think I saw more from Luke than I did from John. There might have been like 1 or 2 that I did see from John, and I don't know where my Bible is, so I can't look them up, because there was a point where I actually went through to highlight, to just ask questions about those certain quotes to see if it was me misinterpreting it, or actually the Bible. Wow, that was loud. actually talking about hate for the Old Testament. Rip, looking for it.
That's cool. It got caught. It's like stuck right side. You should try like a Leviticus. A bunch of people have problems with that book.
You said you want me to find some in Leviticus?
Well, I was just saying, like, I've heard people talk about how they don't like Leviticus because of the stuff it says. So I was just like,
Okay.
What about do you think some scripture hates on gays?
I wouldn't necessarily say hate. I do think that, like, you know, the Bible talks about like what is right, and it talks about what is wrong, and I don't think them saying that, you know, being gay is wrong is considered hate.
Yeah, it's just stating a fact, right?
It's just, oh well, not a fact.
well, what wasn't even a fact?
How is it not a fact?
I'm not, like I said, I'm not. When it comes to how people choose to live their lifestyle, I'm not gonna judge them, whether they're, you know, gay, straight, or whatever they want to be. Like, I'm not going to judge them.
Well,
and so I can't say that, you know, being gay is wrong, because, you know, I'm going to say what's wrong and what's right, you know?
yeah, well, I mean, I say being gay is wrong, not because I'm judging the person, but because the Bible tells me it's wrong.
Yeah. And like I have nothing against that, because the
Who cares about gay people, honestly?
like the Bible does, a lot of Christians, you know, live by the Bible, and not going with what the Bible said is, I guess, in the eyes of Christians, wrong. But like, where other people who, and, you know, there still are Christians who don't feel like, you know, being gay is wrong, because, you know, they're living their life. The Bible also teaches acceptance.
Well, I'm not saying I don't accept gay people. Like, I'm okay with gay people. The thing that I don't like is the sin.
Is the sin.
Yeah, like, I love everybody because the Bible tells me
to love everyone.
So, I mean, I love gay people, but I hate the fact that I hate the sin. I hate the sin.
Love the sinner, not the sin.
Somebody said let them be gay. What do you think about let them be gay?
Well,
hold on, I'm trying to plug my phone in.
I was kind of reading that comment there.
So
yeah, I don't think you can change someone, and I think it's kind of wrong to like force change or your view on someone. So I let them be gay.
Well, I don't really try to change people's views. I kind of let God do that.
Yeah.
And if they don't want to accept it, then that's on them. You know? And I'm not saying that, like, I mean, I sin. I mean,
everyone does.
And everyone sins. And, I mean, if I went and told a lie, that's a sin. If someone's gay, that's a sin. I mean, the punishment for sin is hell, so we'd both be going to the same place. So I'm not saying, like, I'm not calling gays out specifically. Like, I need to work on myself just as much as the next person.
Yeah.
But a lot of people think that whenever Christians call out gays, they're like targeting them or whatever. And a lot of Christians are, honestly. Whenever you're talking about how some Christians believe that being gay is okay, I don't really think that's them being a Christian, because you either go by the whole Bible or you don't go by the Bible at all. There's no in between. So, I mean, if there's a Christian, they're like being gay is okay. They're not a Christian. They're lying to themselves and other people.
They're more like free thinkers.
free thinkers. Okay, well,
I
I
don't really know that.
have a question.
Yeah,
So
go for it.
I guess I already know the answer to this one, but how do you feel about abortion?
I don't think it's right.
Okay.
What do you think?
I agree. I'm pro life, but I'm also like not gonna be someone to force, like I wouldn't agree with a law that says women can't do this with their body. But I also don't condone abortion, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Well, so you don't want them to have a law against abortion, but you still you don't agree with it?
Yeah, just because I feel like
Because it's just your opinion.
Yeah.
Like other people can have opinions.
Yeah, everyone has their own opinions.
Yeah.
I just feel like it's wrong to tell someone what they can and cannot do with their body.
Well, is it their body though?
Yeah. I mean, I guess
Is
if
it?
you're not a Christian, you don't see it as, God's body, God's temple. If that's
Well, I'm saying whenever you're having an abortion, people say you do what you want with your body, but there's another body.
There's another human. Okay, with that, yeah, I agree. That there's another
So,
life that you're making.
That's why I think that abortion is wrong, because you get to choose what you do with your body. You don't get to choose what you do to someone else's body.
Murder.
But that also brings up when a lot of people, when they debate about that, it brings up the whole question of when does life begin? And I think it begins, at the point of conception. Like, that's a life, and you're taking that life away.
Yeah, I honestly don't necessarily know when life begins. I feel like if something has a heartbeat, it's alive, so.
Yeah. Great.
Did you ever find those verses?
Oh, I actually stopped looking, but I'll look right now. Actually, no, I'm not. I didn't stop looking.
Wait.
Yes, they're in the trash can.
Says Tina. Hey Tina, you said I only agree about pro-choice if someone was raped or something like that. So you're saying that if you were a rape baby, you'd be okay with being killed at birth?
That's not what she's saying.
Yeah, it is definitely what she's saying.
I don't think that's what she said.
It's okay to kill a rape baby.
Oh, she said it's okay to kill a rape baby?
It says.
And I still don't even agree with killing a child if you're a victim of rape. Simply because you can take something negative and turn it into a miracle.
Yeah, I'm against abortion. Like, I don't think there's any excuse for aborting a baby, even if it is rape. Like, I mean, I know it's not a good thing, but back to what you were saying. Oh wait, never mind. I remember what you said. And I had something to say, but then you talked about something else, and it kind of answered my question.
18, 22.
It's okay.
Wait, was she against abortion?
All the way. Doesn't matter anyway.
No, I mean the person talking to.
I have a Bible. I can pull it up online. Leviticus.
Pulling up Leviticus.
20.
She said you cracked up. You broke up. Leviticus something. What were you saying?
I was reading in this what's it called? One of these things that I was looking up. It was listing scriptures from Leviticus that I guess preach hate, but so I was looking it up before I said it out loud because it could just be a misinterpretation. So,
yeah. Well, the Old Testament had like in Leviticus, it talks about the punishment for being gay is being stoned to death.
Being stoned, yeah.
Obviously, we can't do that, but back then it was okay because Jesus. That was the Old Testament. I mean, that was before Jesus had come and died to save us from our sins. I mean, back then it was. You realize the punishment for sin is hell, and I guess death. So that's why whenever someone sinned like that, they would be put to death. But Jesus, whenever he died for us, he took that upon himself, and that's why we no longer get stoned for being gay or get whatever done for whatever sin.
I mean,
I'm not sure if I explained that right, but
no. I totally get it. And I guess when you put it that way, it makes a lot more sense than the way that other people were putting it to me, where it was just, the Bible. How am I supposed to say this? Like, there's one, I don't remember where it was from, but like you just said, back then it was common for, people to be put to death in these ways. And I guess where I'm coming from is where in the Bible, it talks about like how, murder is wrong, but then it talks about murdering people for their sins. And I guess that's, back then or whatever. But I guess that's where I'm coming from.
I feel like murder, whenever someone is given the lethal injection, is that murder, do you think? Or is there like a cause for that? Because I feel like murder is more of a no reason type thing. Like, just go kill someone. Or maybe there is
Never thought about it like that.
Not a good reason. Like, they would stone people because they sinned. That's the worst thing you can do.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's more of a punishment. I don't really see it as murder. I mean, it is killing someone. But I feel like murder is more like, oh, dang, that dude gave me a dirty look. I'm going to go kill him. Like, that's not a good reason.
Yeah, I've never actually thought about it that way.
Yeah. I honestly really didn't think about it until, like, right then, because I never really thought about it. But, I mean, that's the way I see it.
And I mean, it totally makes sense. Wow, I didn't think of that.
What are you thinking about? Did that like help? What?
Staying on the topic of Christianity, or are we moving on?
Wait. Back to, you said something about like Muslim or something way back then. Are you like looking into that? Because you said you're like kind of
Oh no, no, don't eat sugar. Back to an argument that I'd had with a friend, someone who used to be a friend of mine. And they were bashing Islam, and I basically was like, you're supposed to be like, it wasn't Christian behavior. It wasn't someone. It was actually, I was disgusted that someone could call themselves a Christian and then basically just completely bash and be hateful towards another religion.
Yeah.
No, it's not something I'm looking into. I have like listened to a few. I've read a few verses, and I've listened to, a few sermons that were online, and just like I think like the Bible is beautifully written, and there are like beautiful passages in it. I also think that the Quran has like really beautiful passages in it as well.
Yeah, it definitely does like have really good teachings, but the overall thing is it's not getting you into heaven because they believe Jesus is just a prophet. And one of the reasons that's wrong is because I've talked to Muslims before, and I'm like, here's the deal: Jesus was either right and he was the Savior, the Messiah. He was wrong, or he was crazy. Or no, here it is. He was either right and he was telling the truth, he was lying, or he was crazy. And if you ask them if you ask a Muslim which one he was, a bunch of them don't want to say that he was wrong or crazy because he's one of their prophets. But they say he was a great prophet, but Jesus wouldn't be claiming to be the Messiah, like, out of nowhere. Mm-hmm. I don't know if I'm wording this correctly, but basically Jesus said, hey, I'm the Son of God, I'm your Savior. And you can't be a prophet and say that and not be telling the truth. That would just be like completely misleading everybody.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's one of the ways that I see being Muslim as being wrong. But Muslims are great people, and they really do teach a lot of really great stuff. But that's the overall thing, is that Jesus was the Messiah, and if you're not being taught that, then something's going on.
Yeah.
Have you ever looked into what the Muslims think and believe and stuff?
No, I haven't really gone that deep into it. It's more so the reason I looked into it at all was because of a documentary that I saw that was basically talking about why they hate us. And so I was curious about, why people love it, but I didn't go into, what they believe. And eventually I will, I guess, when I study more religions a little bit more. But at the moment, I have not.
So you said that you watched a documentary on why they hate us, like Christians? Was that it?
It was on, I think, CNN. It was just, not CNN, it was on some channel. It didn't say, I guess it meant in general, like, I guess, Americans in general.
Well, yeah, a bunch of people do label them as people who aren't they're not the best people, but I mean, that's wrong. That's an awful thing to do, to just label someone like that.
Just based off of what, you can't, like, demonize a whole group just because there are people who are evil within, that.
Like, I don't know. I don't really think that, do Muslims really teach to, like, hate other religions? 'Cause I know, like,
It says that if you were to convert outside of the Muslim faith, then you're going to hell.
Well, that's not what I'm
it does.
talking about.
It does.
All right, what were you saying?
It does. Because I don't remember where it came from, because I don't know the Quran that well at all. I barely know the Bible that well. But it said something about there were actually several verses that detail the killing of people who non-believers or infants. So I guess in a way that's seen as like you're teaching the people to hate or want to kill people who don't believe in the same thing that they believe in, which I don't agree with.
So
I think
that's
wrong.
definitely not good. Has Christianity ever done anything like that? Like, have we ever? Yeah, I know. Like, back in like England or whatever, they used to like if the king was Catholic, they'd like kill whoever wasn't. And honestly, that's not Christian.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I've heard people bring that up before, and
Go ahead. Sorry.
that's just not Christian. Like, to do something like that, because the Bible doesn't teach us to go kill whoever's not Christian.
Yeah. Personally, I don't think the Bible has ever actually taught any hatred of like people who believe in other things.
Yeah.
That's what I do stand on.
Yeah.
And I do think that people who, I think it's terrible that there are people who do extremely terrible things and then say, I'm a Christian, so, God says to do this. I don't know how to word it.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. Like, are you going back to like the hypocrite thing?
No, not necessarily. Well, maybe. I don't know.
Honestly, like, there's a bunch of Christians that I know that are major hypocrites. Like, I have one friend, and what she does is she preaches about how great God is, and then goes and parties. And obviously, the Bible doesn't teach to do that. And that's, I don't know, she claims to be a Christian, but whenever you go and do all that, and I'm not saying that you're not going to make mistakes, because I make mistakes all the time. But the point is, you're trying to change yourself. And if you're just constantly making the same mistakes, trying to change yourself, that's not like the Christian thing to do. Like, if you're a Christian, you're going to want to live basically like Jesus. You're going to want to live as close as you can to how he lived.
Through Mary.
John, don't say that. But so you're not all into the Christian faith, right? Or
Wait, repeat that one more time.
you're not like all into Christianity, are you? You're kind of questioning how, like, what you're going with.
Yeah, and a lot of that is actually extremely recent that I started questioning because I don't know. Have you heard of? Never mind. So yeah,
No, you can't
I-
say it. No, say it.
John, shut
like
up.
I was really involved with
Yeah.
a lot of like my youth groups, Young Life. I don't know if you've heard of it.
Wait,
Yeah.
where are you from?
South Carolina.
They have Young Life in South Carolina?
Yeah.
Yeah, we have that down here. I don't.
How does it mislead you? Like, what do you get from it that's like?
No, I'm not saying like it misleads me. I just like there were times where you're doing a great job. There were times where I kept doubting. Like the doubt grew over time, and then I would pray about it and try to get answers, and even like go to the pastor and like try to ask him questions or my youth leaders, and like I could never find an answer that that helped me, kind of get rid of that doubt or whatever. And I guess it was more. Go ahead.
Well, I was gonna ask what your question was, or at least one of them.
Well, like I guess it's more like, and someone answered it a while back on a post that I made on Facebook. I was asking about if like how could a God who loves us and cares for us allow all the terrible things that are going on to continue going on? Like, why do we have to continue to suffer? And someone, like, there were several people who made a comment about like God gives us free choice, and people choose to do this. And then there are people who were like, God's teaching us a lesson. And so I was trying to figure out like what lesson is being taught by so many people dying.
I honestly don't believe in the teaching a lesson thing, but I do. I mean, I know that God gives us free choice, and so like, what do you mean? Like all this terrible stuff we're going through,
like
one thing at least.
Like for example, just the amount of like, and it not like just the amount of people who have, like, I'm gonna use what's going on in Syria, for example. All those innocent people, the innocent lives that are continuing to be lost, school shootings. Like, I don't understand like what these innocent people, like why they have to continue to suffer. Stop it.
Yeah, that is true.
And so like,
what were you gonna say?
And like for the longest time, I was like, okay, well, I was able to like answer my own question as to what's going on, and I was able to answer my own questions, and then I don't know exactly what happened, but the doubt started to grow more and more and more, and I guess I was looking for people to like reassure me that God is God is there. And so I'm trying to get back on that, but it's a process.
Well, if there is no God, how did we get here? Like,
I don't believe that there's no God. Like, I know that there's a God. I'm not dumb.
I'm not dumb. Nice. She's struggling about how to believe. Like, what's the way to go and see it and believe it and know it?
well,
Oh, there are a whole bunch of comments on here that I didn't notice.
They're all just, there's no real comments. They're all just trolls and people that started and stopped watching.
John, stop talking.
Oh.
You're gonna make the comments mad.
Oh. Read them. I've been reading.
No, but yeah, like I've
Dildos
never argued that like God isn't real, because that's BS.
Yeah, I mean, I just can't. There's just no way that God isn't real. I mean,
No way. There's no way that he's not real. It's more like I believe in God.
Yeah.
I'm just looking for answers as to why we continue the suffering.
There's questions that we can't answer, but everybody doubts and stuff and has their questions. And you said that you look to other people, right?
Yeah.
Well, the best way to do it is look through the Bible And if you
That's exactly what I was gonna say.
you can't really like say, okay, I'm gonna go look at the Bible and go look in the Bible and go find it yourself. If you know every book by themselves, so you sound like you don't really know the Bible that well. So the best thing to do is like type in your question in Google and then just like type in Bible verse that has to do with this kind of question. And then if that answers you, it does. If it doesn't, then yeah, you should question it. But like you should at least look at the Bible and stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, Google actually does help me a lot. I mean, I've had to Google a lot of stuff about the Bible, but honestly, I think the best thing to do is just read the actual Bible. Like, just get into it, you know? I mean, I'm sure it has your answer somewhere in there. I don't know the whole Bible by heart, so I can't really tell you, but I mean, have you ever read the whole Bible?
The whole Bible? No. I attempted to, but I never, no, not all the way through.
Well, I mean, maybe if you tried, you'd find your answer, but I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely something that I plan on, like I used to, in order to keep myself reading the Bible, daily, I would, choose certain scriptures to read through, and then I'd have a journal to go with it, and kind of write about what
That's
it was
really
making
good.
me say. And then I guess I started doubting myself once I stopped doing that.
Yeah.
And it's just 'cause, like I found it was hard to find time, and it sounds really bad because there should always be time for God, but
Yeah.
that's always been my biggest thing, is trying to find time.
Well, what I do is
I ain't usually.
I wake up in the morning. First thing I do is I pray. I'll take a shower, and then I'll take a shower, and then as soon as I get done, I have my Bible sitting open on my little counter or whatever in the bathroom, and that'll kind of remind me. But I try to read a chapter a day. Actually today I read probably half because it was really long, but it doesn't take me more than 2 minutes. So I mean, I'm sure you could find 2 minutes.
Yeah.
And honestly, a verse a day is great, and that takes less than a minute.
Yeah.
Whenever I say I read a chapter a day, like reading a whole chapter won't take 2 minutes, but
Were you the one that told me if somebody gave you $168? Were you the one that told me if somebody gives you $168 and gives one, would you give one back? Did you tell me about that?
no, I don't know where you got that from.
Okay. Yeah. Hey, did you ever think about like doing stuff like you don't have time for stuff?
What do you mean?
Like you don't have time for like godly stuff. Like you can't find it in your schedule.
Are you asking me if that's the case?
Yeah, like in a way, yeah.
Like I know that like there are times where like I'm like now I could be sitting down and reading it, and I guess it's kind of a piss poor excuse to say that I don't have time.
Yeah.
I guess I'm gonna reword it this way. I don't have the time that I want to fully sit down. Like I want to be able to have like back when I used to do the whole journal stuff, I honestly didn't have time to sit down and read this and then write about it. There was no time for that, and that's the only way I could get through the Bible.
I felt like the what really happens is it's not a priority.
Yeah.
If you really care about it, you'll get it done. It's more of like laziness.
Well,
Really.
no, I don't want to call it laziness. That's
Really
not.
is.
That's not.
Yes.
No,
It's not.
it's laziness.
It's laziness.
Are you sure?
Yes, it is. If somebody told you, "Do you want $1 million?" and you say yes, and then they're like, "Okay, meet me tomorrow at 4:00. Are you gonna get there?" Yes, you will.
It's
If it's a
and,
priority. You're gonna make it happen.
I didn't want to see it as laziness, although I knew it was laziness. And it's also like I made other things a priority over God. Where I probably shouldn't. I shouldn't have done that at all.
It's just not caring enough. You just gotta care and want it.
And that kind of sounds bad to say, but I feel like it's true. Like, I mean, I definitely try to read my Bible every day, but there's definitely been times where I just completely either forgot or didn't do it because I felt like I was like not on time for school or something like that.
Yeah.
And that's just me not making it a priority.
Yeah.
This might like help you, but I don't know if it will. But like this is more like for. And do you go to church?
I used to. It's
Well,
like
this
like
is-
I said, all of this has been like recent, like within the past few months that I kind of just backed up from everything.
Well, okay, so this goes more of like church, but like this could go for you too, and I guess it makes you feel a little bit worse. But okay, so say somebody gives you $168, right? Like say I give you $168,
Mm-hmm.
and I ask for $1 back. Would you give me that dollar back?
Yeah.
Okay, that just makes sense, right?
Yeah.
So if God gives you 168 hours in a week, would you just give him 1 hour back?
Yeah.
Maybe if God gave his life for you, would you give yours for him back?
Oh, it's this deep.
I've never really heard of it put that way, but that is a good way to think.
Yeah, I've never heard it. You guys are bringing some good stuff to the table. Jesus. Well, not Jesus. Sorry.
Israel Lord and Savior.
No, Jesus is your Lord and Savior.
Like it's
You just gotta
Like-
really want it.
a lot of what you guys are saying is kind of like making me think more than I was before.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you think you'll like look into it more and like just make it more of a priority, you know?
I mean, I definitely will. And I think, now like the way you guys putting it this way, it definitely made me do maybe the problem isn't God at all. Maybe the doubt is just me not making, I don't know. I'm doubting myself. I guess it is.
Yeah, I mean, I've had plenty of doubts. I mean, God is. It's really like hard to think about. I mean, I've doubted myself plenty of times and been like, "Is this really real?" But
Yeah.
I mean, I'll start. I mean, the more I start thinking about it and questioning myself and looking for answers, I mean, I always come back to it. Like God is real, and How did you guys feel about Obama and how he did? I don't know. I'm 16. I'm not into all that stuff. Tina.
Wait, you guys are only 16?
Yeah.
17.
You guys are some freaking. Well, I'm only 18, but you guys are wise. Good job.
We know.
We high five. We high five for that. That's good. Thank you.
Thank you so much. How old are you?
She said she's 18.
Yeah.
You're 18?
So you're like fresh out of high school, or are you still in high school?
I'm still in high school, unfortunately.
Where are you from?
I'm South Carolina.
South Carolina.
Yeah,
What?
you already said that. She already said that.
Yeah, I know. I remember you saying that now. I thought Kansas for some reason. I don't know why.
Hey, what? Do you know? Hey.
Sorry, go ahead.
Do you know anybody named Jordan Johnson?
Jordan Johnson. No.
Oh, yeah. His name's-
You probably should ask me where it is.
I don't know.
Yeah.
That'd be so cool. But
I don't know who that is. Honestly, like how you said we're kind of like wise, I guess, about this stuff. One of the big reasons is because I want to share my faith in school, and it's kind of hard to share what you know if you don't really like know about it, you know.
Honestly, that was because like my freshman. Okay, so I didn't get saved until like my sophomore year. I guess I'm not. I don't know where I am now. But so after during my sophomore year, it was hard for me to like share. Sophomore, huh?
No, he was talking to himself.
Sophomore and junior year, like I found myself like wanting to talk about, God and just like what a great person he was and all. Oh, Jesus, not God. Well, I don't know, both.
Yeah, I get what you mean.
Yeah. But the problem was like a lot of my friends at the time were like anti-Christian. And it sucks because, you know, these are the people that like I grew up with, and I had a hard time trying to find people who were interested in what I was interested in until I found, you know, Young Life, which was cool.
Yeah. Honestly, I've never been to Young Life, but all my friends talk about it. I've just never
That's probably what
8-9 o'clock around that time. Hey, it really matters who you hang around with. You know, they influence you.
Yeah.
Wait, I couldn't hear you.
It matters who you hang around with and stuff, and like who influence you. So Young Life is a great place to go. And
yeah.
Your friends that are anti-Christian,
they're not my friends anymore.
Well, that's good, but like not good. You know what I mean? Like you should try to help them if you can't help them, then. Well, I don't know your reason for not hanging out, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
What was I gonna say? So did you ever like try to talk to your friends about God? The ones that were anti-Christian? What was their response?
You said, what'd you say?
What was their like response to it?
Well, a lot of the problem the problem with a lot of my friends at the time that I had then is that they refused to give up, you know, their sins. You know, they wanted to live, they chose to live in sin, which is why they, you know, they were blinded to like God's love or whatever, and they refused to see it just because, you know, they'd rather go out and do drugs and like have sex. And I was never that type of person, but I did have friends who were like that, so, you know, they would rather do that stuff and whatnot. And so then, you know, when I talked about God, or when I talked about how I went to a Young Life camp and all this other awesome stuff that, you know, is going on, like how awesome Jesus is, you know, they're very hateful and about it and whatnot. And, you know, stuff like Jesus freak would come out all the time, or all you ever do is talk about Jesus. And I don't think it's a bad thing. I didn't think it was a bad thing.
Honestly, if your friends respond to you like that, that's not very much of a friend thing to do. But whenever people respond to Jesus with hate, I honestly feel like there's something wrong with them. There might be something going on with their lives, because, you know, we see God as someone who's just loving. He loves everybody, you know?
Yeah.
So it's really not logical to respond to that much love with that
with
much
hate. Yeah.
It's not something a normal person would do. So whenever that happens, you should ask them, like, hey, are you okay? Like, is something going on with your life? Because it's not the right. Most people want to do that, respond to love with hate.
I knew it was like things that are going on in their life. Because, you know, it was a close friend group that I was experiencing this in, which really sucked. But and it wasn't anything that wasn't going right in their life. It was just that they loved sin more than they loved God.
Yeah.
That was the only thing.
Yeah, that's kind of I don't know what to think of that, because I mean, I have tons of friends that do a bunch of stuff like that, and I don't know, I just don't get it. Like, it just doesn't worth it to me. Like, there's this girl, I guess, and we're not like technically like a thing yet, but, you know, I've took her out before and I talk to her a lot, and she parties like every weekend, and she claims to be Christian, and I asked her, I'm like, so why do you do that whenever you're claiming to be a Christian? And she has no idea. She just tells me that it's fun, and I just don't get that. Like, I asked her, I'm like, is it fun to do what God doesn't want you to do?
Yeah.
And it kind of upsets her, but it's true. She's like disobeying God. And like, I guess if someone doesn't have a relationship with God, like they just weren't raised in a Christian household, then they would have more of an excuse. They're like, well, I don't really know what God wants me to do. But the fact that she's like an actual Christian and she knows what's right or wrong,
she just refuses to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, I might break up for a second, okay? But we're still here.
All right.
I need to check my phone real quick.
Actually, hold on. I just have to get. God, this is what I have to study for. Oh, just been on conspiracy